One Team, One Podcast is back, episode 126. Is that right?
That's right.
126.
Nailed it.
Oof. Every week
One,
it's
two,
like
six.
you never know what you're going to get every
Yeah,
week.
it's plus one every week. It's
All right, so Matt and Jack here,
Mhm.
and we had our Coffee and Donuts episode last Sunday, and that was week 0 of Coffee and Donuts. My audio
Right.
sucked,
Yep.
but we're going to do that again on Sunday. But we
Mhm.
kind of talked a little bit about Mississippi State, so this week it will be our regular episode. We'll kind of go over Mississippi State. There's some news today in the SEC. We'll talk about, maybe we can kind of go over some of the games that are going to happen this week too nationally. Especially after last week, my betting, I probably need to slow down. Like the Alabama game, I think fucked everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nationally. Like
Mhm.
everybody was just
There's a thing that happens. Not to just like shit on you, but every time I feel like you lean like super hard into a bet, it never hits.
well, and
Like it's every time you post about it, and you're like, oh, how bad is this team about to beat this team?
yeah,
That
yeah.
bet's fucked.
I
Yeah.
should just secretly go against that one
Mhm.
and not tell anybody, but then
Mhm.
just go against it. My go against my gut pick of the week is 2-0. By the way,
Is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
go against my gut pick of the week is 2-0.
There we go.
Last week was BYU over Baylor. That one hit.
Right. Oh
Um,
yeah.
all right,
Wacky
so want to appreciate all of our sponsors. Big shout out to Bank of England Mortgage, Patrick Michelson. They're our audio sponsor for all of our podcasts. BOESouthernstates.com, 225-810-1805. We appreciate Pat. If you guys ever in the need for mortgage or refi, give BOE Southern States, Bank of England, proud sponsor of One Team, One Podcast, and also Fred's in Tigerland. So the oldest college bar established in 1982. Go see Harry. Who are some of the other guys that I always forget
Dirty
their
Mike and the
names?
boys.
Oh, Dirty Mike. Go get you a screwdriver. Best screwdrivers ever. I had a screwdriver this weekend. The morning before the game, didn't come close to a Fred screwdriver. God
It can't.
bless you who made it for me, but it wasn't as good as Fred's with the fresh squeezed orange juice. So
Yeah, it's just their orange juice. Just it's second to none.
it is. Maybe we can get
Mhm.
our hands on some. We had too much last year. We need to tell
Yeah.
Nay, okay,
Well,
half the
they didn't give
delivery.
us. I don't want to say they didn't give us enough orange juice. They gave us a fuck ton of orange juice.
We
but
spilled
they
it all
didn't.
over the place.
Did we?
Well, we put it in somebody's cooler, and then every game when we opened the cooler, there was just a bottom layer of orange juice all over the bottom.
I don't remember
It was like,
that.
this sucked. So everything's just like floating in orange juice by the end of the day. All right, so Mississippi State week. We talked about it on Sunday, and we posted something out on Twitter too. And I've been hearing a lot of like talking heads talking about, okay, here's the key of the week, blah blah blah. And I'm honestly, I haven't heard one person say the right thing yet. I just haven't heard one. The way we played last year against Mississippi State is the way to play Mississippi State. And
Right.
it's like Durante Jones, God bless your fucking soul, Durante.
Right.
He's still alive. But God
is.
bless you. He
Rest in
unlocked
peace.
the key, and he made us all understand the way that you're supposed to play Mississippi State. And it's 8 in the back, rush 3, maybe 4. But the key isn't to you want to get pressure on the quarterback, obviously, but the key is to keep everything in front of you. Do not let these big plays happen, i.e. 2020 with Bo
Mhm.
Pelini. Bo Pelini's playing man up. We're better than you guys, and they just burned us all over the place, crossing routes for days. Couldn't keep up with anybody on the field, and we played the opposite of that in 2021.
Right.
What are you? I mean, I've been listening to everybody, and I've heard key to the game is get off the field on third down.
Right.
Another key to the game is get pressure on the quarterback, and I'm like, no, neither one.
Mhm.
Obviously, we would like to get off the field on third down. And the person that I heard that from, his analogy was, well, we weren't good against Florida State. We're getting off the field on third down. We really
Right.
need to
And I
do
mean,
that.
that's completely fair. And
Yes, but we're not playing
people
that
are
offense.
right.
Like,
Exactly. I don't think. I think people are just more focused on like what our defense's issues are. And sure, getting off the field on third down, couldn't agree more. This
Yeah.
team did a bad job of that in week 1 and needs to improve on that. But
Absolutely.
I think your point is like more than valid. This isn't a typical offense that we're playing against here.
Well, I said this before we got on there. This is like playing Army, but it's the opposite. Like,
right.
yeah, we need to be really good in our, communication in the defensive backfield and all that until you play Army, and then everything changes. Like, you have to play assignment football, and you have to be disciplined. And in this case, I want all LSU fans to kind of understand that this is going to be a very, very frustrating game to watch.
Right.
Similar to last year, they gashed us up and down the field last year. I don't know if I remember watching that.
I have it pulled up right here. I'll go through each drive. We didn't get a single like 3 and out until the the third quarter, late third quarter. That was our first 3 and out that we got.
Yeah.
But I'll go through each drive. 6 plays, 45 yards, fumble. 5 plays, 18 yards, punt. 7 plays, 38 yards, interception. 14 plays, 80 yards, field goal.
Yeah.
5 plays, 12 yards, punt. 4 plays, 32 yards, end of half, ended in a sack. That was our only sack of the game, by the way. And it was when they were trying to...
One sack. We only had one sack.
One sack all game, and they were trying to throw a Hail Mary. And then this was our first 3 and out, 3 plays, 0 yards, punt. And then their last 3 drives, they went all the way down. They went 75 yards in each of them. And
the score was what?
It was 21-3.
21-3.
Final was 28-25.
28-25. So, what was time of possession?
Let's see.
They crushed us. I know they did.
Yes, 35-25.
Okay, so they had the ball 10 more minutes than we did.
Yeah.
And we still dominated that.
We had a lot of we had, I think, we had 2 drives where it was just first play touchdown.
Quick plays. Yeah, we scored.
I think it was like first play of the second half was a touchdown.
Boutte had one, or was it Boutte? Yeah, Boutte
Trey
had
Palmer
one.
had one. I think Boutte had one too.
Yeah, it was like over the middle.
Let's see. Our touchdown drives, we had the first drive of the second half was 2 plays, 75 yards. And then we had another in the second half that was 1 play, 58 yards for touchdowns on each of them.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah, that's a big contributor is when you have just a 1 play drive.
But I can see a lot similar of a game this week where they control the clock. They're running up against us because we're going to have a 3-man front probably, or a 4-man front. They're going to be able to run the ball up the middle on us for 5 yards a pop. They're going to throw little crossers or little dump offs, and they're going to move all the way down the field. It might be a 7-8 minute drive, and then they're going to get to the 15 and bog down. And that's when you got to get off the field, and you got to create a field goal opportunity, and they'll probably hit a field goal. And my point is, okay, we need to score touchdowns when they kick field goals, and that's the way you play this team. And if you play them like the other way, and I mean, right. I know we were shorthanded in 2020, but like, you can't do that. Like, unless you're Alabama, you can't athlete it like that and play that way. And I don't know if LSU fans are really grasping this. Like, I hear so many people saying different stuff, and I'm like, y'all are going to be pissed after this game. They're going to look at this game and be like, what's wrong with our defense? Like, no, that's not how to play.
I don't know. I think if the defense plays the same way they played last year, and gets stops on the first 8 drives, and then, I think late in that game we gave up the 3 touchdowns in the last 3 drives. And I don't think anyone at the end of that was like, oh, our defense sucks. I think everyone was just pretty much I think our defense pretty much played the way they were supposed to. I mean,
I think we were also thinking of like 2020 Mississippi State at that point, and like, okay, our defense from that year to this year, we played fantastic.
Sure. But I think people for the most part understood that, like, that defense was exactly what we needed to do. I think the casual fans maybe will look at a box score, but I mean, if you're looking at the box score, that's like, what's the point of that? Did you watch the game?
They're going to outgain you by at least 100 yards. They're probably going to have 10 minutes more than you in possession time. We had we got like 2 or 3 turnovers in that game, I believe is what it was. Like, So we put them in positions where they were forcing the ball
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think that's right.
And I think at home that should be. I'm kind of baffled by the spread a little bit, to be honest with you.
I'm not.
2.5 Mississippi State. I don't
I
know.
think I think Mississippi State's actually a really good team, and I know we're talking a lot about the offense, but that defense is also really really good. Um, I think that I think Mississippi State's a good team. I think they got a lot of really good athletes.
I don't think they're a bad team. I just don't.
Talent wise, I think they're really underrated. Um,
Yeah,
Josh Pate. So the main college football podcast I listen to is
and
the Late Kick.
yeah, Josh Pate is like to me
I think
the
he's
smartest guy.
one of the smarter ones.
Yes,
Exactly. He has they do like the JP poll. You know about that?
yes.
It's like a power rating.
Hmm.
He has. I was listening to it today. I was a little surprised how high he had them, but he has them as the 12th best team in the country.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not saying that Josh Pate is the end all be all or anything like that, but I do think Mississippi State's a really good team. I don't know if I think they're the 12th best team in the country, but I think
You like
Mississippi
the
State is a
JP poll
really
better than the AP poll, is
no
what you're
doubt,
saying.
no doubt, no doubt. I think it's the whole point of like his thing is like it's a power rating, so it's predictive instead of like the AP, which is more based on like what you've already done,
Yeah.
and also AP is also based on um, what we had it as in before the season even started, which is stupid. Which
Yeah.
AP poll is dumb if you go anything based on
Yeah,
the AP poll.
you now know what teams are, who
Mhm.
is a team and who isn't a team, and you can kind of like, yeah, I
Right.
agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was predictive like that. So he's actually thinking that
He's
Mississippi State is not only they have done well, but they will be doing well enough to be 12 in the country.
right.
Wow.
Exactly. Well, not to be 12th ranked in the country, but just that I think the way he explains it is that like it's everyone below Mississippi State, like everyone 13 and below,
Mhm.
uh, Mississippi State should be
They should
favored
beat them. Okay,
against those
gotcha.
teams, right?
Okay.
Like on a neutral field.
Well,
Um,
when it's 2.5 Mississippi State at LSU, you understanding that I mean it's a 3-point swing for LSU at that point. So at Mississippi State, they would be close to a
nine,
touchdown favorite. That's that's what,
nine,
huh?
closer to nine, right?
Oh,
It's
I thought it
usually
was
six.
3. Is it more than that in college? It's like five or
I
6.
thought it was three from like home to neutral, and then from neutral to home, it's another three.
Oh, so neutral it would be a 5.5, and then
Right, and
it would be
then
closer to
at
like eight and
Mississippi
a
State,
half at Mississippi State. Wow, that
isn't that right? I thought that's what
that
I've heard
that you
before.
might be right. That to me is shocking. That's shocking.
Yeah,
Mississippi
but
State being an 8.5 point favorite at Mississippi State.
you got to think a big part of that is that LSU still has so many unknowns.
I get it.
And it's like, all you have to base it on is how we played in week one. No one's going to
Mhm.
say anything about the way we played against Southern because who cares?
Right.
Um, and I mean, if you're an LSU fan,
Yeah.
you
The only
say
thing
like,
I can
oh,
take
we
from
did look good,
Southern,
and I think we improved in
yes,
places.
the only thing I can take from Southern is that we've just gained a shit ton of confidence. I mean, that's the only thing I
Yeah,
can take
that's
from the
it.
game.
Right. And if there were improvements made, it's like, it's hard to really point out which ones those were because the talent difference was so high.
Right. I know.
Um,
I saw Emory Jones take a guy like the blind side. He took him like he pancaked him on the sidelines, and I'm like,
mhm.
dude, this is not like this isn't the right
Right. It's
competition.
right. Exactly. Emory Jones, we'll have to talk about him, by the way,
No shit.
in the rotation, freshman, awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
I mean, just thinking about the either freshman offensive linemen and like offensive linemen that are going to be coming in next year,
mhm,
and thinking about like, okay, in 3 years when Walker Howard really takes over,
mhm.
what that whole group is going to look like. It's
Right.
kind of impressive just thinking about that
No
stuff.
doubt. Super impressive.
I was thinking about that today. So this team reminds me a little bit of it's different, but like it's like a piecemeal. Like he had to piece everything together. We had nobody on the roster, so you had to go get guys, transfer them in or whatever. It's like when John Brady took over for Dale Brown years ago, and the first year he was there, he brought in all these JUCOs and all this stuff, And I think you remember because we've had John on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
where we were talking about that team because I was just like, I loved that team. It was
Mm-hmm.
the hardest playing team that he ever had. These guys from like all over the place. They played 1 year and then they were gone because he got recruits in or whatever. But like it was his team though, because it was like
Mm-hmm.
these guys, they wanted to play at that level so bad.
Right.
And but it was just like this 1 year that he had to like put people in place to where when he really got his guys come in, then everything was on the right trajectory. And that's kind of what's happening. I feel like this year is like, yeah, we got all these guys that came in from all over the place just to kind of fit their gaps right now. But like,
Right.
but I think it's better. Like we're actually in a better spot. I think we could still have a really good season even after the Florida State game.
Yeah, I do too. I think
I think
I don't,
confidence is
like. I
everything.
mean, if we're gonna talk rest of the season, I don't think 9-3 is out of the question.
Uh,
Um, I
yeah,
I
I'm
I
with
think
you.
it's the cap,
Yeah,
but
I think we're probably more 8-4, 7-5 at this point.
I totally agree. But I don't think 9 and
I've come
okay, I
off of
mean,
that. I've come off of that hill a little bit, Jack.
for sure. No, I'm sure. Like I'm just talking about like absolute max potential.
Yeah,
Like because I don't think we beat Bama or I mean, fuck, dude, could we beat Bama?
I don't know.
Jesus
I mean, we all
Christ.
saw that game. Like,
I don't. It's almost like, damn.
and you know what I'm
After that
thinking.
Texas game, dude, I'm like, every game is on the table.
And you know what I think too. I keep saying this because people at work they'll talk about A&M quite a bit
Hmm.
because of the A&M game, and
Right.
I at this point, if we were able to beat a team last year, then we definitely are able to beat that team this year. We are better this year than we were last year.
Right. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, no. After the Bama game, dude, it's like I don't think there's a game on this schedule that we can't win.
You're talking about
Uh,
the Bama Texas game.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, but
exactly.
I'm even thinking of LSU Bama last year. Like, okay, if we were
Right.
able
Yeah,
to
yeah. No.
hang with them, and then you see what happened against Texas,
Right.
like, I mean, it
Yeah.
feels okay. Like,
Right.
I don't feel like we're that
And
far off.
dude, like Bama was
Georgia would beat our ass.
Bama. Yo, Georgia would beat the shit out of us, dude. That wouldn't even be close.
No,
I've.
it'd be
And
more than
there's
eight
no
and a half.
shame in
Tell you
that
that.
either.
Yeah, it'd
There's
be
no
more than eight
shame in
and a half.
that either. They're
That'd be
clearly
like
the best team in college
20,
football, right?
20 and a half spread.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
somewhere
that would
around
be
there.
20 and a half.
Like, yeah, 18-20 is what I
Yeah,
would guess. And like totally fair. Like
and we'd
that's
probably
easily
lose.
that team's
We'd
crazy.
probably lose 31-0.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I would put some points on the board like late.
Mm,
Jaden Daniels is. I mean, if he's not going to play well in a game, then he's at least going to put on some garbage time touchdowns. So he did a lot of that at Arizona State.
yeah,
Um, what was I saying though? Alabama was horrible on the road last year, and then I was assuming this year, they lose the title. Out Nick Saban
they're
teams
talking all
always
that
like
shit. Yeah,
exactly like they had
they're like, oh, we were,
all the rat poison. I'm
disrespected, and
thinking
yeah,
like God, this team's going to be crazy. They're going to come out firing, and then this Texas game happens, and maybe this is the kick in the ass they needed though, to like get it together. Who
yeah,
knows?
maybe.
Um,
I mean,
maybe Nick Saban's lost it.
defensively, I still think they did okay. Like, I know
Oh, for
Ewers in the
sure.
first half, he was
Yeah.
probably ripping it up, but like they only gave up what 19 points, right? 20 to
Yeah,
19.
yeah, but
I
to a
mean,
backup, and Texas got fucking hosed,
yes, they did.
dude.
Yeah,
Bro, they should have won that game.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, like Bama really got away with
I mean,
that,
think about like, okay, so
which is just
for Texas fans, think of like,
more
okay,
than common.
they had Alabama last week, and then they had 2019 LSU game where
Mm-hmm.
they dropped a touchdown in the end zone against LSU,
They did.
and
That's right.
they had a goal line stand like right after that. Like
Yeah,
they had opportunities to like take control of that game,
they
and they
did.
didn't do it. And then the same thing happens again against Alabama. And it's like, bro, they've got to be like. I think they're like jumping up for joy. Actually, is their problem.
Yeah,
But
they got to be. I mean, obviously, like upset that you lost the game, upset that like you had a bunch of bullshit that happened, but
they're
yeah,
moral
I mean,
victory for
they
them.
got to, yeah, moral victory for sure.
Mhm.
You got to feel good about Sarkeesian after that because I don't know how they were feeling before this week about him.
Yeah, I don't know.
What they went like 5-7 last year.
And switching gears, talking about we were talking about A&M a second ago, but like
mhm.
A&M's got Miami coming in to College Station, and
They're
I
gonna
don't
beat
know
them.
if they're going to beat Miami.
They're gonna beat them.
Well, who's the quarterback? Is it Max Johnson?
I'm guessing it's Haynes King. Dude, I don't think
I
it
think their
matters.
defense is good.
I don't
I
think
think
it
A&M's
matters who
defense is
plays.
good.
Oh no, no doubt, A&M's defense is good, and Appalachian State made that defense not look that great. I mean, Appalachian State could do whatever they wanted in that game,
Yeah.
but I don't think it matters who you put in that offense at quarterback. That's
Yeah,
such an
the
outdated
scheme
offense.
sucks.
I mean,
Right.
dude, it's like Jimbo's going through the whole. I mean, I know you had a Les Miles post today. He's going through the Les Miles thing. It's like
All right,
it's
so
exactly
the
what our
last
problem was from like
yeah,
2014 to 2016.
the last year that Jimbo Fisher was at LSU, we had Jamarcus Russell, early Doucette,
That was
Dwayne Bowe, Craig Davis, 2016. I mean, 2006. Sorry,
2006, right? That was the year we lost 7-3 to Auburn.
that's the game I was about to bring up. We lose to Auburn 7-6, and that was the game that everybody was like, "We need a change. We need a change," and the change is Jimbo Fisher. And a lot of people didn't know if Les Miles had his like finger on things and like all that too. And then Jimbo's
sure
gone,
there's
and the
part of
next
that.
year we bring in Gary Croton, who runs more of a wide open offense. Matt Flynn, we win the national championship. Everybody
Right.
knows that. But like, I remember how conservative he was in 2006. In 2006. But then he goes to Florida State, Jameis Winston, and all that stuff happens, and everybody, he's a godsend again. I think he's a good coach, like a program coach.
No
but
doubt.
like when it comes to schemes and offensive creativity, it ain't there, man. It just ain't there.
No. And I don't think he's a bad play caller. It's just that he just needs like some just nuances, you know?
I mean, I think
Just
they're
like
still running I formation, right? Like I think
right.
that's what they're doing most of the
It's
time.
it's just like the scheme of it has to change, but I don't think as a play caller he's that bad. I think he does try to keep things very balanced, and I think that's a good thing. But yeah, it's all.
I'm taking the under. I'm just taking the under. I'm telling you right now. I'm just taking the under.
Love the under.
I'm not taking the spread. I'm not taking the spread.
Line is.
The line
A&M's
was
a 6-point favorite. I'll have you know.
Yeah, they're 55.5.
5.5.
And I think it was 49 over under.
49. Yeah, I love the under.
I mean, I'm hammering that. But another one that was an under. I know we're jumping
Miami
right
has a
on
good quarterback too.
Yeah, they do. And that's the thing. They have a good. A&M's got a good defense, but their offense is so fucking bad. If they lose this game, though, Jimbo Fisher is on the hot seat. It is red hot. Oh yeah. If they end up if they lose this game and they end up 6-6 this year, you look out. The amount of money that they're paying that dude, 6-6. Oh, they're in trouble, bro.
He doesn't have a buyout, does he? What was his?
I think he has a. No, I thought it was like $100 million or something crazy.
He had a weird buyout situation. That's all I remember.
All right, we gotta look that.
It was weird. It was either 100,000 or it like didn't exist. I can't remember.
I don't remember. You're talking about like if we were Jimbo Fisher buyout. Here we go. That's the largest buyout in the country in the history of college football.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So the opposite of.
So they're stuck with him.
He would be owed $95.6 million.
They ain't paying that. I know they got all the money in the world, but $95 million.
You would have to know.
It's too much fucking money.
You would have to know who the next guy is, right? Like you can't.
Yeah, it would have to be Nick fucking Saban.
You can't shell 95.6
to a guy to
and not
coach.
Know who you're gonna.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. I mean, he's 6-6 is bad. It's not that bad.
Oh, that's bad.
It's bad.
If you're paying him, you're paying him over $10 million a year, and you get the number one recruiting class, and you go 6-6. That's rough. Started off in top 10,
dude. $100 million.
Yeah, that's chump change for those guys, bro.
Bullshit. No, it's not. I know they got a ton of money. That's not chump change to anyone.
They can go get Dave Aranda. To be honest,
Dave Aranda's a great coach.
I think that would be a fantastic hire.
settled in with Brian Kelly and I like the hire, but I would
Eh,
have loved Dave Aranda for
yeah,
our job.
I agree.
I think Brian Kelly was a safer hire, but
I think it was the exact thing that you needed at the exact time.
mhm,
Yeah.
right.
Um, oh, thank God for Notre Dame and Texas A&M. By the way, taking all the heat off of Brian Kelly
Yeah. Oh my
for this
God.
week.
Yeah. No, that's like all the tweets I saw this weekend about LSU were just like they get to sit back and
Mm-hmm.
watch everyone else kind of suck
It,
this week.
like was the
Feel a
SEC
lot.
shorts?
Feel so much. Yeah, it was the
You
SEC
ever watch
short.
that? Yeah, the guy's
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
back. He's like, "Oh, this is fantastic. I'm
yeah.
loving
Yeah, I'm
this."
just watching. Yeah.
That was perfect. That was
That
a
was
perfect
yeah. That's exactly how I felt.
analogy.
It's
Exactly.
like yeah. Oh, that was really good. I love it.
um,
He's so funny.
yeah, I know. All right. So Mississippi State. I think we talked a lot about the offense against the defense. Or
Hmm.
sorry, yeah, their offense against our defense. But you
Hmm.
were saying their defense. All right. Here's what I think we need to do is we need to start off fast. So I think
Yeah, I
Brian
mean,
Kelly's
no
already
doubt.
said if they win the toss, they're taking the ball. And I think if you take the ball, I want to see a score immediately. Like if you're going to take the ball, I want it to be like one of those, those NFL first drives where it's all like scripted and it's like it looks like
Mhm.
a perfect drive or whatever. That's what I want to see. First drive, score a touchdown, 7-0, and we're playing from ahead the entire game. That's kind of what I
Yeah, I
want to
think
see.
write me down for also wanting to score on the first drive.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good I
And
mean,
also like $1,000.
I feel like if we tried to do that every game, I think
Right.
it'd probably be pretty good.
Uh-huh. Uh yeah, with the offense, it's just I think last week we talked about them getting in rhythm, and I felt like they got in rhythm.
Hmm.
It's just let's see if they stay in rhythm. I don't know. It's
I like
there's
seeing all
there's
of our
really not much more to say
playmakers.
than that, right?
Yeah, I like seeing all of our playmakers in space. Like, I know it's the
Hmm.
competition you were playing against, but I'm hoping that kind of gives them a little bit more of like a confidence of like, okay, this is where the offense can be. You know, it's going to be it should be fun, a good offense. Like you got shit ton of weapons all over the place.
Hmm.
I just feel like it could be a very explosive offense.
Right.
And
Agree.
this defense is a little different. 3
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I still don't think we're going to be able to run the ball consistently. I just don't see us being able to run the ball like a
Yeah.
zone read, run
It's
off tackle thing. I don't see us doing that
no,
very
I don't either.
consistently.
I don't think the line's quite good enough for it.
But I could see a couple of those, but then like a couple of little short swing passes to the running back and the flat or
Yeah. Well, we
something
got to
like
talk
that.
about,
And
especially with the running back,
Emory,
what kind of impact does John Emery make?
I just don't. I can't see it being
And I
huge
know
for the first
Brian
game.
Kelly said that like don't expect too much
That
and
was
all
our question,
that.
by the way. It
But
was
is he
that was from Josh Shibley of
oh
121
really?
podcast. Yeah,
Oh
that's right.
cool. I don't know if him saying that in that way was he was maybe tactical advantaging, but
Mm,
I mean I'm not a
he's so
conspiracy guy,
tricky,
so I
that
doubt
guy.
it. But yeah, yeah. Brian Kelly, mastermind.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I can't imagine him not making an impact
yeah.
in the
I don't.
running game.
I can't see like more than 13 carries from him or anything like that. But I
Sure.
could see like close
But
to 10, maybe a couple of catches out of the backfield that he can break something. I mean, I
I
can see
think
that.
something that I did realize in the Southern game was that they don't want to play Noah Kane very much anymore, and I don't
Yeah.
know why. But
You think it's maybe a
looked like
burst?
I think he just looked kind of slow,
Yeah.
something like that. But I think
Maybe use him for short
removing
yardage.
yeah, well they did. I mean, it's the Southern game, and he had a touchdown against Florida State too. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he sucks or anything like that, but it does look like they'd rather him not be in anything other than short yardage.
Yeah, a good one.
So
Good
if you
one's good, man.
remove good, yeah, no, I like Goodwin for sure. So if it's just him and Emery, you remove all Kane's production
Mhm.
and replace it with Emery. You got to think that that's a significant net positive, right?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think
It's an
Emery's a
upgrade.
good bit better than Noah Kane,
I
like a
agree, and
good bit.
I like the. I think it was Haney said this today. He was like, if you look at Goodwin and you look at Kane, Emery kind of fits right in the middle. He's like a bigger
Hmm.
back with speed, and he kind of does something like that. Both guys, he can do what both guys can do, kind of
Right.
thing. So I like. I mean, obviously, it's an upgrade to the room
None
and
of them are
have
good
more
in pass
depth.
protection.
I know, and that's what
That's
a little
what
bit
Josh.
what I'm
That's what
worried.
Josh Williams is there for.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried about Emery. He hadn't played in a year and a half. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is that going to be up to speed? I know
Well,
it's
he
not.
already wasn't very good in pass protection
Well,
before.
2 years ago. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, I know. It's like the big part of it is like he has to have improved
you
in two
would think,
years.
yeah,
Uh,
you would think.
if he hasn't, that's an issue. But if he's improved, then like, wouldn't you think he's one of the best running backs in the SEC? If he's improved,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
he was
just
already
just
up
sheer
there.
talent, yes,
Right.
for sure.
Exactly.
I think
I
it's
mean,
going to
he
be
could.
take him a little while for like timing and
Yeah, for
stuff like
sure.
that, but
It
like
kind of
otherwise,
it kind of reminds me. I mean, he's like a senior now, but it kind of
uh-huh.
reminds me of Jeremy Hill a little bit, where he sat
It-
out his freshman year and then
yeah,
came back like somewhere in the middle of his
sophomore,
redshirt freshman or sophomore, whatever it
sophomore,
was.
yeah.
Um, and he kind of got in rhythm a little bit and then started to just tear it up. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe that's the kind of year Emery's about to have.
it could. I mean, I'd love to see it. Like that guy was all world coming out of high school
Mm-hmm.
and almost went to Georgia. So I
Right.
mean, I often wonder, like, is he like the national championship game last year? Was he sitting back just like fuck,
Mm-hmm.
like one of those kind of things where it's like I could have been there, or I could be in
Yeah.
the league right now.
Yeah.
If I was
Fuck.
in the Georgia system. I think about Georgia all the time. So I think about Georgia for
In your
this in my head, and it's mostly because of the 2018 game. Like, do you remember how Georgia was like sky high,
Mm-hmm.
and we were on the come up, and we beat the hell out of them, and it felt like we supplanted Georgia, and then
Yeah.
we went downhill, and Georgia just went right back to the top, and it was like
Well,
that was
right. I mean,
as
Kirby's got that
programs
program.
go, right?
Kirby's got that program just like
As programs
level.
go, that's where I was envious for the last 2 years of like when I see Georgia, I'm like, we should be that team. Like
Yeah.
that's who we
There's
should
no
be
reason
right
to not
now.
be that.
We fucked
Mm-hmm.
around and they
Mm-hmm.
didn't,
Yeah.
I think about that all the time, bro. Like every time I
Yeah.
see a highlight of that game, I'm like, God damn it, we should be at
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's level right now. We're not, Anyway.
That's very
I could
like
go
you to think negatively about a positive thing.
I was watching Georgia, Oregon. I was in New Orleans watching Georgia, Oregon, and I'm like, fuck. Like, we
Yeah.
should be there. We should be there playing Oregon right now.
Yeah, dude. I can't even think about it. It's just gonna piss me off.
I know.
But fucking.
It's true. I know I'm negative, but it's reality. It's
no,
true.
I know, but like, it's just like the most negative way you can possibly think about it. Like,
I've been through a lot of bullshit football, Jack. I can't
no, I
help
know.
it.
I mean, well, that's what I was saying to William the other day, dude. It's like, can we please win this fucking game? Because this podcast has not seen a winning football team
Yeah.
since we fucking started. Like,
Yeah.
like we haven't. I don't think at any point in any season we've had. No, last year we started 2 or 3-1, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess for a little bit last year.
Well, my 2020
like-
prediction was undefeated. And it started off in the Mississippi State game.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
that was rough times for your boy.
What did I might have said like 9-1 or something like that, but I think that might have been before Chase and Stingley and all that happened. But not going down that rabbit hole. That's all
now
right.
I'm upset. Now I'm upset.
Nope. Turn it off. Turn 2020 off. But Plini's dead to us.
Yeah, so I still think that we're gonna win this game.
You have a score?
I do have a score.
31-23 is that what you said?
31-23.
Sorry to steal your.
That's okay. And it's more about we're scoring touchdowns and they're kicking field goals. And
that is the way we win this game for sure.
They score 2 touchdowns, they kick 3 field goals, and we've stopped them in the red zone 3 times to where they had to kick a field goal, may get a turnover out of there or whatever. But like we score touchdowns and kind of take control of the game that way. But my thought is similar to last year where we go up a little bit and they keep going. Like That's just a machine offense that you have to just keep in check, and eventually they're going to get yards and they're going to score some points somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have to manage it a little bit. And I think after listening to Brian, honestly, I've said this a million times. Every time I hear Brian Kelly speak, I feel super confident, and I'm like, okay, that guy is smart, and he knows how to
Right. That's why.
this.
That's why I know, like, this defense that we're talking about, where you have to drop 8, or drop 7, whatever it is. Like,
Right.
you have to, you can't over pursue. I know that that's what we're gonna do because I know that he's smart and I know Matt House is smart.
They're not
feel
fucking
very
idiots
confident.
that's going to try to do like some safety blitz or some shit
Right.
like that. Against,
right. And
like,
if there's
like
anyone in that coaching staff that was there in 2020, they're gonna say like, "Hey, look at what happened when we sent 6 the whole fucking game."
Yes.
Right.
Which nobody's there.
Is no one there? There's
nobody's
not a single.
There. There's nobody there.
Dang.
That would have to be like Greg Stringfellow.
Oh, right. Yeah, because the only returning coach was Brad Davis.
Coach,
huh?
Look what we did last year. Yeah, Brad Davis. That would be the only one.
Maybe Michael Barnett's right there. Maybe.
Michael Barnett. Hey, coach.
Coach.
First
couldn't
thing,
help but hear that you were talking about blitz packages.
Yeah, this One Team One podcast, they have something really good they wanted to share with you.
Right.
All right, so here's the thing that I know about Mississippi State is the crossing routes. Killed us in 2020. Yeah. We got it under control in 2021. Here's what I want to see. I want to see maybe a crossing route work one play for Mississippi State, and then the same guy tries to go across Harold Perkins' face the second time, and Harold Perkins lays the guy out. I want to see a personal foul against one of these crossing routes. Just you take the 15-yarder or whatever, but make them think about doing a crossing route again. That's what I want to see.
I want it to be Wes Weeks.
Wes Weeks lay a guy out? Why? Mm-hmm. He's white, Jack?
Yeah, actually.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, that is actually exactly why. Yeah, I mean, I just think that would be ideal.
Harold Perkins is the king of personal foul penalties at this point. So
yeah, no, he's
go ahead and keep his streak alive.
Yeah, he's setting a record.
Michael Baskerville too. We got to talk about him.
I was just about to talk about him. I thought last year one of the big I think Baskerville, where he does struggle is in run stop.
Yeah, I agree. He's undersized a little bit, it feels like.
Undersized a little bit, and then sometimes I feel like he misreads it, which is weird because he seems like he's so good instinctually.
Yeah, right.
But I think he's almost just like a step slow. But I think where he actually does do really well is in pass coverage. I mean, he hit the pick 6 this past week.
Right. I mean, he jumped that route too.
Yeah.
It was tipped though.
It was tipped for sure. But he was there,
Yeah, for sure. He would have had. I think even
also
if it
against
wasn't
Southern.
Tipped,
so
even if it wasn't tipped, I think he would have still picked it off.
I do too. Yeah, he was right there. Anyway, I just think him being
he's got to be on the field.
Pass coverage is like I think that's going to be.
I think
that's going to be an advantage. And
I think the question is,
linebackers got to tackle. Like I think people were talking about third down, get off the field on third downs, which is we agree is stupid. It's like it's just not what we need to be focused on. But if we don't tackle in this game, we lose. Like
I agree with that completely. Like when they dink and dunk over the field, make the tackle. Don't let them get to the second level of the.
If those crossing routes turn into 15-yard gains consistently, we lose. It's over.
Yeah. If they start breaking tackles like that, then I agree with that. So when it comes to linebackers, and I'd have to go back and look at the last year's tape. I know we had a couple of linebackers on the field, and I think we would still have 2 linebackers on the field in this point. But my question is, like, I feel like you're going to have to make a change. So Baskerville, to me, needs to be on the field. And in this case, I really feel like Mike Jones and Greg Penn both need to be gone. I
don't think Mike Jones needs to be gone.
I think he does. I think if anybody needed to be gone, it was Mike Jones and not Greg Penn. I thought Greg Penn was actually playing pretty well, but Mike Jones to me is
Greg Penn's more of like the run stopping kind of.
I agree,
and I think Mike Jones is a little bit more versatile.
I want to see Baskerville and Perkins right now, especially for this game.
For sure, I want to see Perkins too. But
in this game, I mean,
talking about I think a little bit more realistically, I just don't think Perkins is going to get that playing time.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just makes too many mistakes. and he's it's just like this is such a like big game in terms of like being disciplined and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I can see that. Yeah,
And so I don't think he's going to get that playing as bad as I would
I'm
like to see him play.
I'm thinking of
I
like
just
Quick
don't.
and being in space and all that kind of stuff. That's where I was
Yeah,
talking
for
about with
sure,
Perkins. But I
for
agree with
sure.
you
I
completely
think
with that.
just like I don't know if they're going to trust him to make those plays and be disciplined and make tackles.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um,
What's your score for this game?
I'm still. I said 31-28 the other day, and I'm kind of. I've changed. I think LSU's going to win, which is I mean we're an LSU podcast, so that should be obvious at this point. I think I'm kind of leaning towards like my score prediction is like a tie. So like I'm thinking overtime, and then I think in overtime I think we would win. I think an overtime situation would benefit us. Like I think that we're going to be able to score easier in the red zone than they are.
Okay.
So my score prediction is 33-30 LSU.
33-30 LSU.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it goes to overtime at 27 all.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my
Oh,
score prediction.
overtime.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Were you not listening?
I can't wait to no, I was tweeting out to I was texting out to our group. I want everybody's score predictions.
Oh, I see.
And I didn't understand the overtime.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I think what my score prediction is
So it's going to be
tie.
33-30 OT.
OT, yeah.
Oh,
And I
love
think
it.
27 all like regulation. Then yeah, 33-30.
Okay.
I
like it.
They kick a field goal and then we have I guess it would be a walk-off touchdown.
Like it.
So fun stuff.
Yeah. Are we rushing the field?
Yeah, I am. You'll see me.
I'm going to be all the way. All right. So my tickets this week are all the way down the field by the tunnel. LSU running out of the tunnel.
Oh, damn.
So all the way down, like field level though. So like anything that happens on the other side of the field, I gotta look at the scoreboard. There's no way I can see it. But like it still will be fun just being on the field level and like everybody walking by and everything. So I'll be right there. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be able to run on the field first before anybody.
Hell yeah. Take your clothes off.
I'm starting to get score predictions. They're rolling in from the podcast group. So
are they?
We'll post that out tomorrow. Let's see. Any other games? Let's see. Let's talk about any other games this week.
Yeah. Let's share screen. How about that?
So here's a game that I had my eye on for the betting purposes. And it's Iowa. It's Nevada at Iowa.
Nevada at Iowa. Okay. So
Iowa's a 23-point favorite, but it's actually like over under was 42.5 or something like that. And I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs, take the under.
ESPN says it's at 39 already.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's probably getting bet down. I mean, you got to take Iowa unders.
I mean, you have to take the under.
Like, how's Nevada looking? Are they?
I mean,
they
got beat by Boise.
They got beat by Incarnate World.
Oh, Incarnate Word. Yeah, that's right. That's the game I was.
Incarnate Word. I thought it was,
yeah.
This whole time I thought it's been World.
Nope.
Incarnate Word.
Incarnate Word.
But they
yes.
Huh. That's weird.
I know.
Okay, so they're terrible.
They're terrible. And you know what else I looked at? I might find this again. Tom Fornelli. He's like a CBS sports writer.
Yeah, I follow him.
He posted the bottom 10 teams.
Yeah.
List,
Iowa.
And he does it every week. No, Iowa's not on there because it's like the worst of the worst. Like
the literal worst teams?
Yeah, like Akron. Okay, so Akron is playing at Tennessee. Tennessee's a 47.5-point favorite. Akron lost to 52-0 to Michigan State last week, and then they barely beat St. Francis of Pennsylvania in their first week.
Wow.
Yeah, so Tennessee could like literally win 63-0 in this game. So
like that's 67. Jesus.
Yes. Maybe look at a first half line on that. That might be pretty good.
Probably so.
Yeah. So let's see. What else? What other games are we looking at?
How do you feel about this game right here?
Oh, I like Penn State. Sorry, Sammy. I like Penn State -3.
He's Auburn looks Xbox right next to me.
Auburn looks like crap. They're all going to be juiced up.
Dude, I just think oh Jesus, we got
Look at
like
that.
Inception.
Look at
We got
that.
Inception going
Inception.
on here. My bad.
Somebody's looking for
I
some kicks. Look at that on the other side.
I just think that I think Jordan Hare's just gonna go fucking crazy and Auburn's gonna win a weird one. You know what I mean?
Are they gonna wear orange jerseys?
No, right? They can't do
That's
that.
the big rumor is that they're gonna wear orange jerseys for this game.
Orange jerseys.
Yes.
Sam, is Auburn wearing orange jerseys? Rumor. He says rumor.
Rumor. That's the rumor.
That would actually be really sick. They can't bust out new uniform stuff after last year.
Right?
He said, right?
You talking about with the Penn State game last year where they pulled out
with
the orange face mask?
No, white face mask.
White face mask. That's right.
They did the orange face mask. Who'd they do that against? Didn't know. I think it was
I think it was against LSU, huh?
No,
Didn't they have orange face masks against us? I don't remember.
God damn it.
Oh my God. Stop. Get off the Inception.
My bad.
Georgia at South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina is
24.
Spencer Rattler's going to throw 2 pick sixes in that game.
No doubt. I don't even know what the play is there. That's a stay away from it kind of game.
Yeah.
It's the bet is probably Georgia minus 24 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know.
Yeah.
No touchy. 53 and a half. I feel like the over is the play here on this LSU game, huh?
I don't know.
I mean, both
like
of them.
I said 31-23 and that would lose.
50. No, that's 54.
Oh,
right?
54?
Yeah.
Right.
Math?
Yep. Yeah, but I like Penn State. I'm not touching that Texas A&M Miami line, but I am taking the under. What's the over under?
44 and a half.
I'm still taking it.
Still taking it?
Yep.
That's not cheap.
I trust Cristobal a little bit.
Florida, I like Florida minus 24, I think.
South Florida looked like poo against BYU. Speaking of BYU has another game against Oregon. And it's a weird line because it's at Oregon, but Oregon is ranked, what, 24th or 25th?
25, yeah.
And BYU's 12th, I believe.
Yeah.
And BYU is like an underdog.
Well, I mean, they're going to Eugene. And I mean, Oregon only has that one loss because they played the best team in the country. So,
yeah.
I think that's probably odds makers saying just giving Georgia forgiveness right there.
Did I read that right? Ole Miss at Georgia
Tech. Yeah. That's a fun game. Line? 16 and a half for Ole Miss.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched too much of Ole Miss yet this year.
Georgia Tech, I know they ended up getting beat like a drum, but
quarterback's pretty good.
They hung in there against Clemson.
I like that quarterback.
Yeah, that same guy that's been there for a couple years.
Yeah, and they had him and Gibbs were freshmen coming in.
Yeah, I remember.
And they could have been really good if Gibbs would have stayed, but he left.
I remember watching that Georgia Tech quarterback. His name's Sims.
Sims, yeah. He's pretty good.
He is pretty good. I remember when I watched him for the first time, I thought he looked a lot like RG3.
So you think Auburn with TJ Finley is going to beat Penn State?
I mean, it's just like when you say the name TJ Finley,
say it like that,
it makes me shimmer. But
you're all right. So here's
Jordan
here you go. Your 2 big plays this week are riding on the arms of TJ Finley and Max Johnson potentially.
Oh, I'm not playing. I'm not playing A&M. There's no chance. But I mean, A&M is winning that game. I'm telling you now, A&M's winning that game.
Right.
A&M money line is a play, but
I mean, they're 5.5. The money line's not getting you any value there.
It's a little value.
I mean, if anything, money line, I would look at Miami money line on that.
I guess so, but I mean, I feel pretty damn confident that A&M is winning that game, and it's just because I think they're going to come into that game just fired up, and they're going to make some minor offensive corrections and shit like that, and it's just going to they're gonna throw one fucking pass and like that whole stadium's gonna erupt. You know what I mean? It's just gonna
I
be
get
it's
it.
gonna be one of those games.
It's one of those
And
like
we saw those games all the time with Les Miles, where we would lose an early game in the season because the offense was shit, and then we'd come out the next game, throw like one fucking play action or something like that,
it
and the
feels like
whole
in those
stadium goes
games.
insane.
Yes, you can't give those teams momentum with that stadium. And
Right.
I know Penn State started off the season against Purdue at Purdue, but this is
Yeah.
not even fucking close.
Right.
So anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So recapping, I have 31-23 LSU. 31-23. Is that what I said? Yeah, 31-23 LSU. They kick some field goals. We end up scoring more touchdowns. And you have 33-30 in
OT.
overtime.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
so
that
far,
Isn't
it
that
is fun. It will be a fun game, but actually, that'll be a very shitty game to watch. Like
How
that
so?
means Mississippi State's scoring a whole bunch, and again, it'll be like our defense sucks.
Yeah.
When really they don't.
You know,
The casuals, they irk me. The casual fans irk me.
You can't let the casual fans get to you like that.
They do,
because it's like
they still do it.
They're just not. They don't know what they're talking about.
I had somebody break it down to me today, and it's one of our sponsors. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but he said, the way I figure it is, not that one.
I assumed.
We'll pull that up right there. The way I figure it is, LSU fans suck. 70% are idiots. 20% are good for a little bit. 8%, like me, we have good takes, but we don't follow it every day. And 2% are like you, guys that know what the fuck is up. The 70% are idiots, he said.
I mean, I agree with that.
Shout out to River City's Total Maintenance.
And that is probably very well proven on Tiger Droppings.
Oh, not just, you should see the Facebook stuff.
Yeah, I know the Facebook stuff's terrible, but that's like grandmas and shit like that.
Like
dude.
some of the things that I've been tweeting on.
That's like aunts and cousins.
I tweeted a couple of things today that didn't do great on Twitter, but like if you saw the Facebook post,
no, I made sure to go look at the Les Miles post on Facebook. Look, when we
out
post,
of control.
The fake breaking news posts aren't my favorite, but they do great on Facebook.
I know they do so good.
It's not about the post even. It's just about what the reaction.
I want to see what the reaction
on Facebook. Exactly.
And I crack up over the reactions. Oh, right. I got a visitor in the house. So, all right. Yeah. So let's wrap it up. All of a sudden, somebody walked in the door and Ellie's going crazy. So we will regroup on Sunday. So Coffee and Donuts will be this Sunday. We'll come back with our live reaction show. We appreciate everybody for listening, and we appreciate all of our sponsors, as always. And look for us out on campus this weekend. We'll be doing some interviews out there. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. And for Matt and Jack, this has been One Team, One Podcast.
Logan out.